Speaking of talking about motherfuckers, welcome to Supernatural Selection. I'm your host, Kevin Heyman. With me this week are Mike the Skeptic. Mike, how are you today?
I'm okay after the discussion we've been having earlier. I think I'm as good as it can be.
Yeah, now that's something that we'll talk about more when we get to...
Can I give a teaser?
Sure.
The phrase monkey vagina was dropped, and I was told that if we were in the know, we would know what that meant.
I am not in the know. I was not in the know until a few minutes ago.
Yeah, so.
There'll be more about this in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And we've got Mr. David Davis. David, how are you doing today?
Doing well. I'm happy I brought up monkey vagina and that we're putting that out there in front of everybody.
Oh, God. That's one of the most Discordian combinations of words I've ever heard.
I'm going to say something terrible.
What's that?
Pussy's out for Harambe.
Shut up.
Hey,
oh, my God.
Hey, come on, Kevin. Equal representation.
Okay, fair enough. But I also don't really want dicks out for Harambe either.
Well, that's why I said pussy's out.
Please cover your various and assorted down there.
Bits out for Harambe.
There you go. Bits out for Harambe. Bitcoins out for Harambe. No, never that. Never that.
I'm surprised there wasn't like a Harambe coin that was...
There probably wasn't. It probably failed like immediately.
Yeah, I hope so. He deserves better.
Yeah, I feel bad still.
Yep. Well, it's him, that, and David Bowie dying put us in the wrong, in the worst timeline. So,
I don't think they put us there. I think that was just
because we're in
a signpost.
Those were the fucking Nexus events.
I really got to get out of host talk because those two pictures are staring at me. Let me get the fuck out of there. Get back over to Weekend Weird. Speaking of, it's the Weekend Weird. And we're going to be throwing some stories out there. Now, David, I know you don't have X this week, but I'm excited for what you've got in its place.
Yeah, so, we'll bring that up towards the end.
Yes, absolutely. But I'm going to go first because I want to get it down there for real this time, unlike Distraction Hall, where I said you were going to go first, and I just started talking. So I'm going first, and I'm going to start talking. Mm-hmm. Now, this first story I have is from WAPT 16 ABC here in Jackson. It's some local news. Now, it's actually from back in February. It does not list the author of the article, which I hate that they do that. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting. Title is, This Day in History, Madison County UFO Sightings Remain Unexplained. Witness describes 1977 experience, which I feel cheated that I did not know about this shit. I did a whole episode about the Pascagoula abduction in 73 or whatever, and never knew there was one literally in my backyard.
Oh, wow.
See, Madison, we live in Hinds County, and like literally right above us is Madison County.
Yeah, to the north.
And let me tell you,
Now, are there any bridges over in Madison County?
There are, and they're in just as bad a shape as the ones in Hinds.
I was making a reference to
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
I know what you were doing. Mm-hmm. So, Flora,
you're not ready for my bullshit right now.
I am suffering tonight, so sorry if I'm short. So this is Flora, Mississippi, which is in Madison County. One of the most famous UFO sightings in the world happened in Mississippi, and I'm going, is it? Is it really?
That's kind of like, trumping up your own stuff there.
Mike's over there dying, don't worry. But, seriously, I consider myself in the know on this whole UFO thing.
You're an ufologist?
I'm not a ufologist, but I'm a ufology researcher.
You're a ufan?
Is that French?
No.
Ufan. So, anyway, on February 10th, 1977, nearly 24 law enforcement officers witnessed a giant floating object above the tree line in a cotton field off a rural Madison County road near Flora. Now, Madison County is very rural to this day. Like, once you get out of Madison itself, it suddenly becomes, just rural as fuck.
Yeah,
So,
like all the areas surrounding Jackson are very rural.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I knew an artist up there. He converted his barn into a art studio. So,
Oh, neat.
yeah, had a wet bar, too. Anyway, a former deputy who said he saw the UFO told his story to 16 WAPT News. The deputy wanted his identity to be protected, so for this story, we called him Joe. All right, I get to do a voice. And here's the thing, it's how it starts that made me choose this voice. I tell you what, most of them around here, you don't realize how many people have had a close encounter with what this is, Joe said. It was approximately 15 to 18 feet off the ground, blue in color, kind of metallic blue, portholes around the center of it, shaped like an old spinning top kids used to play with.
Or a propane tank.
It may have had a narrow urethra. Sorry, I love doing that voice. Madison County Sheriff's Deputy Kenny Creel, who apparently is not ashamed of this, was also there that night. His description of what happened made the Flora incident world famous. 3 decades on, his cousin Michael Creel said the deputy is tight-lipped about it. He didn't really talk about it anymore. He said if he knew it was going to cause such a ruckus, he would have never said anything about it, Michael Creel said. Kenny Creel told 16 WAPT News that he actually made the whole thing up, that it was some kind of a joke. Now, my thing is, if there were, in fact, 24 law enforcement seeing it, and you said you made it up, maybe, if he made it up, they were all seeing his imagination. So, anyway, says he made up the whole thing, that it was some kind of a joke. But others aren't so sure about that. Joe believes Kenny Creel clammed up after the feds put the heat to him. The CIA told him that he didn't need to talk about it no more, Joe said. They didn't want it out. I'm not sure what kind of threats were made. When this story first aired on 16 WAPT News in March 2011, local UFO researcher Patrick Frascogna wow.
Say that again.
Patrick Frascogna launched a new investigation of the 1977 Flora sightings. The initial sighting was Kenny Creel's and James Ray Luke. I think he just outed Joe. You know, it's like that Monty Python sketch. For the purposes of this interview, we're going to call him Steven, but his real name is this, you know. Frascogna said, these are credible witnesses in law enforcement. Joe said people are still seeing UFOs around Flora. In January 2011, he took a picture of something in the sky. He said the sightings are a town secret. It's one of those things folks just don't like to talk about, Joe said. And I just think it's interesting. I never heard of this before.
Yeah, no, and it's like right in your backyard too, which is like, considering how you're so into this, the fact that like you just now have heard about it, but it kind of like shows that it isn't a world famous thing, because apparently it's not even Mississippi famous.
Yeah, I know. It's world famous in the same way that, like, you know, a hamburger at your local restaurant is the, quote, world famous barbecue burger, you know?
Yeah, just because some guy from, like, wherever came, from another country came and had a burger. Oh, this is a good burger.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, you know, it's not International House of Pancakes because it's international. Mm-hmm. So, just saying. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, no, it's really interesting. I'm going to try to find more information on it, but unfortunately it's all local news articles. Yeah. And I'm like, if it's world famous, why is it just stuff here? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, yeah. I don't.
Someone tweeted it out once, and then a guy in Japan retweeted it, and boom,
Yeah,
world famous.
I guess so. I don't know. I hope I can find something that's not just this. So, yeah, there's something from the History Channel, but in the Google results, but then it turns out it's not actually about this at all.
Well, and here's the thing. This is a kind of minor, this is like a footnote in a chapter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's not a whole lot to this one. Like, it's exciting for Madison.
Sure, yeah.
But, yeah, if in the grand scheme of things, like in a UFO book, this is like a footnote. Like, there were several sightings in Mississippi, and that's about as much as you get.
Well, let me tell you something. I've got the UFO Encyclopedia by Jerome Clark, author of Unexplained. And it does not mention the Florida UFO anywhere in it, and it came out around 2000. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's a weird one. If I find more information, I'll bring it to the show. But yeah, that's it's just fun. It's a thing I'm gonna have to look into some more, and maybe we'll come back to it. Maybe we won't.
So,
well, yeah. It's like the Bigfoot sightings that I brought up in my local area.
Oh yeah, Mike, you were gonna say something?
So I decided to look up Pratt Frascogna.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's a UFO lawyer.
Wait.
That's what this
now,
article says. He
like,
says
he fights for UFOs or he sues UFOs?
Apparently, says he's a lawyer who's taken up the case of two men who were witness to one of the most important UFO events. John Burroughs and Jim Peniston were part of Air Force security.
Oh, Peniston. Wait, I know this story.
Bentwaters Air Force Base in 1980. Apparently, he represented them for something.
Yeah.
It might be worth looking into him just in its own.
Yeah, no, I've actually heard of the Bentwater and all that. We need to look into that, Mike.
Apparently, he's an author and lawyer.
If you can post that in the topics thing on our Discord, I would really appreciate it.
I also just want to note the way that Mike pronounced his name. It literally sounded like something from Twin Peaks in the Red Room when, the dwarf is speaking backwards.
Frascogna.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very interesting name, for sure.
Yeah, the UFO lawyer could be a fun
oh, yeah. No,
episode.
that's a future episode. Yeah. So... Well, that's my first one. That's a fun little thing. So how about
it's a fun. It's a little aperitif.
Yeah, it's an aperitif. It's a hors d'oeuvre. So, Mike, what have you got for us?
So I have a few. So you get to choose. Do you want door number 1, door number 2, or door number 3?
Oh, we're getting the Monty Hall paradox now. Gonna go with door number 2?
I'm gonna say door number 3, so then Mike has to choose.
Ooh.
No. I'll just do number 2 and then number 3.
Oh, okay. So that's your 2.
Unless
okay.
either of you want to change your guess.
Wait, now.
I'll take what's in the box.
Yeah. Do you want what's in the box? Or do you
nothing. Absolutely nothing.
This is the Monty Hall door problem.
Yeah. No. Sorry.
You're so stupid.
Had to get our UHF reference.
So,
oh God. So let's go with number 2, Mike.
So number 2 comes to us from CNN via Slashdot.
Man, that just kills me. Slashdot is still a thing.
Yes. Yeah, in fact, just several of my stories usually come from there because that's one of the few news sites I actually still go to.
Yeah, Mike never left.
Yeah, even though my karma there is bad, apparently.
Well, if you'd stop posting dick pics.
Oh, yeah, I guess. But this reported first on CNN. U.S. is receiving dozens of UFO reports a month, senior Pentagon official tells CNN. This was published on October 18th.
So I'm just going to say, duh. But yeah, go ahead.
U.S. government is receiving dozens of reports of unidentified anomalous phenomenon, more commonly known as UFOs. Wait, they're mixing their freaking
It's
acronyms
unidentified aerial phenomenon.
You say, yeah, you either say UAP or UFO, but they use and got it wrong
Motherfuckers.
too. So, fuck CNN. Who's this writer? Screw you, Oreg Lieberman.
I bet you he thinks UFO stands for unidentified Franciscan objects.
Probably. But the U.S. government is receiving dozens of reports of UFOs each month, according to the director of the office established to investigate the incidents, with the potential for, quote, hundreds, if not thousands, more reports expected in the near future.
Fives of reports.
The office has received approximately 800 reports of unidentified objects to investigate as of this past April, up from 650 reports in August 2022. Sean Kirkpatrick, who heads up the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, say that a lot,
Nope.
at the Pentagon, told CNN. Nearly all of the new reports refer to objects observed in the air. Only one comes from a maritime sighting.
Ooh, a USO.
What's that, unidentified ship object?
Submerged.
No, that was still in the air. Oh, well, yeah, I guess it would be not in the air. Okay.
Yeah, USOs. Look it up.
Yep.
I was thinking they were saying it was just sighted at sea, but yeah. The vast majority are benign objects, such as balloons or drones, but some may be the result of America's adversaries trying to spy on the U.S., says Kirkpatrick.
Including the Greys.
And, Turkmenistan.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, there are some indicators that are concerning that it may be attributed to foreign activity, and we are investigating those very hard, said Kirkpatrick, speaking exclusively to CNN ahead of the release of the annual report on unidentified aerial phenomenon. See, okay, they said aerial, not anomalous.
This guy sucks.
Yeah. The report, released on Wednesday, said the object sightings may represent an issue for flight safety. Most sightings and observations come from near restricted military airspace, the report found, likely a result from the additional sensors and radars around the facilities. A portion of the increase in reports comes from the Federal Aviation Administration, which monitors airspace around U.S. airports, starting to provide the information to the Pentagon. So I guess they just weren't talking to each other before about it.
I guess.
Well, I mean, that was part of the whole, because we've covered the congressional hearings, and that was part of the thing, like the right hand doesn't know what the left is doing, and there was a lack of communication, so... Yeah.
About half of the reports contain enough data that they can be ruled out as, quote, mundane things, such as errant balloons or floating trash, Kirkpatrick said, but 2 to 4% are truly anomalous and require further investigation. The report said only, quote, a very small percentage of the observations have interesting signatures, such as high-speed travel or unknown morphologies.
Ooh, that's a big word.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It means its shape is not known.
Yeah.
Kirkpatrick's office has transferred a lot of cases to law enforcement for further investigation, and there's a lot of quotes in this article.
Like, very arbitrary quotes, too.
Well, no, some of them are, I guess,
The man was wearing, quote, pants.
and he ate, quote, a burrito.
I never eat a, quote, burrito unless it's Taco Bell.
That is a, quote, burrito.
Okay. Well, I guess I eat a lot of, quote, burritos then.
And if necessary, counterintelligence in regards to the information.
Who they hand it over to, right.
Some sightings could potentially be foreign adversaries spying on the United States, like the Chinese spy balloon shot down off the coast of South Carolina in February. And the annual report on UAPs put together by the Defense Department and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence says, although none of these UAP reports have been positively attributed to foreign activities. These cases continue to be investigated. Asked if the Pentagon could definitively identify the sightings of an unidentified object as belonging to a foreign adversary, Kirkpatrick said that his office is, quote, looking at some of very interesting indicators of things. And that's about all I could tell you. So he's just like, trust us, bro. We got this. Mm. But the office, which has more than 40 employees and is expected to grow, can't say this for sure yet. This article keeps going on, so yeah, we got the gist of it, though.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of shit being reported and then transferred to the appropriate places.
Yeah, but apparently a lot more. But then again, I mean, that's what happens when you make it as public as they did. They destigmatized it. They opened up new avenues between the FAA and the military.
Right.
So obviously you're going to get more data.
Yeah.
Now, whether any of it's more, good data is yet to be seen.
Well, a lot of it seems to be filtered out pretty easily, too, based on what they were saying in the article. So, I'm glad that, they get 10,000 reports, but if, 2,000 of them are worth investigating, that's good.
Yeah, I know. This is just like the whole thing with our good friend J. Allen Hynek with his whole, a lot of this is just bullshit, but there's enough that does need to be researched.
Yeah.
So, again, I'm glad they're looking into it on any level whatsoever, because the alternative is just calling everybody a crackpot.
Yeah, filed under working as intended.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. And it's all just LSD in the water from the CIA.
It's pelicans.
It's always those damn mirror-like pelicans.
So shiny and, sleek.
You ever comb your hair in the belly of a pelican?
No.
You do not know how to live. But, nonetheless, I'm glad this is something that's being researched. I still feel like the amount of attention being given to it is sort of a distractionary thing from something else. But nonetheless, it makes me happy that they're looking into it.
Oh, yeah. That's a feel-good story if there was one for this show.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Mike, how's it make you feel?
Wait.
Sorry, go ahead, David.
Do any of us have any animal death stories this time around?
I do not.
Nope.
Okay, good.
Why? What have you got?
No, I was just checking. It was that was kind of a feel-good story. How are we going to ruin it?
Yeah, well, they did shoot that horse. No, Mike, how does this story make you feel? Mike, how do you feel about it?
I mean, kind of, indifferent. I don't think it really moves the needle much for me, either direction.
Are you glad? Okay, but are you glad they're looking into it?
I get the feeling that, even if you're looking, they're not looking more into it. They're just looking at more stuff. I don't know what the signal to noise ratio is here, if it's getting better or worse or staying the same. So,
I don't know. And the thing is, everything was so sketchy beforehand, I don't think anybody knows.
Yeah.
So at least now we have a base going forward with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Well, that's a good story. Mm-hmm. So, David, what have you got for your first story?
Well, we've been doing that series on AI, and there's always some sort of new development. So
what kind of horrible nightmare thing have you got for us this time?
Yeah, so I picked up this article from Futurism. I get a lot of articles from them. Mm-hmm. This is by Victor Tangerman, and the title is Facebook is paying celebrities millions to turn them into chatbots.
I hate this.
Mm-hmm. So I'll just read a little bit of this. Facebook's parent company, Meta, is paying celebrities millions of dollars to let it turn them into silly AI chatbots, and to be honest, we're still not entirely sure why. As the information reports, one unnamed celebrity got as much as $5 million for a mere 6 hours of work to be turned into one of the AIs. Last month, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced the chatbots, which are based on the personalities of celebrities including Kendall Jenner, Tom Brady, YouTube creator James Mr. Beast Donaldson, and TikTok star Charlie D'Amelio. Or Emilio.
I hate it.
I don't know.
I
I don't understand
fucking hate
TikTok,
it.
so I refuse to correct myself here.
That's fine.
As of right now, they're limited to text only, but according to Meta's onstage demo, the company is looking to have these faux celebrities speak with users through video as well. But what does Meta get for its millions of dollars of investments? Besides, who exactly are these chatbots for? Zuckerberg, for one, is convinced of the tech, telling The Verge last month that there is a, quote, huge need and that, quote, people want to interact with Kylie, referring to Keeping Up with the Kardashians star, stating that, quote, it'll be fun for consumers.
No, it won't.
While Kylie Jenner isn't currently on Meta's list of celebrity chatbots, her sister Kendall Jenner is. Whether there's any truth to Zuckerberg's sentiment remains to be seen, and given the reactions so far, which have been mixed to say the least, the feature could turn out to be nothing more than short-lived and ill-advised attempt to cash in on the current hype around AI. For one, the marketing has been nothing less than confusing. Oh, you were going to say something?
I was just going to say, the only thing I want done with the Kardashians and the Jenners is to have them launched into the sun.
Instead of explicitly selling these AI personalities by using their real names, Meta has given each chatbot an altered moniker, perhaps in an attempt to preempt any potential defamation lawsuits. Jenner's chatbot is called Billy, for instance, while Brady's assistant is called Brew. Okay.
All right.
So then what's the point?
Right.
Yeah. Why? Why even?
Billy even got her own Instagram account. So Billy being Jenner, introducing herself in a perplexing video that may or may not have been the product of generative AI itself. I kind of want to pull this video up. Let me pull it up so that way you guys can check it out as well, because yeah, this is a weird one. There we go. So yeah, we'll take a second to play it.
All right, this is the Instagram link.
It's weird.
Okay, I'm going to turn the volume on, and we're going to hear this live. Yeah. Okay, hang on one sec. I hate it.
So it looks like a hostage video for one.
It really does look like there's terrorists just off camera with a gun.
So
and the motion is the other thing that's throwing me off. Like, I get why people are saying this might be like generative.
Well, so no, because if you look, it's set up to make it look like it's someone holding a phone, and so the moving is just because that's, quote, handheld. But that's stupid because, you know, it's why would you, there's no real camera, so why would you have to fake it to look like, you know,
well,
handheld. I'm
also talking about her motion.
Well, yeah, but
as well.
But the whole thing shifting around in the frame because it's supposed to be handheld. It comes back to my my hatred of lens flare in like CG movies. Because lens flare is just an artifact of camera lenses, ergo lens flare.
Right.
And adding it, look, I did my lens flare crimes. Okay, I've come out the other side, and I will, die on the hill that lens flares are unnecessary and bad.
All right.
You know what I'm talking about, Kevin, right?
Star Trek?
No.
Oh, Coda's World.
Coda's World.
Right.
Yes.
No, Mike definitely
I
used a lot of lens flares.
Discovered the Photoshop lens flare tool and put it everywhere because I thought, then this looks great. I can do an effect and it makes it look awesome, and I don't have to. No, it looks terrible and it's bad.
Yeah, there's this one page in particular, it's got like 90 lens flares on
Okay, that
it.
was
but-
in a that was supposed
and
to
that
be in
was
a
the
club.
first time. No, not that one. I meant the one at where they first get to Yippee Globe World.
That was only like 3.
Yeah, it felt like more.
There was a lot more in the club scene.
Yeah,
okay?
no, but that wasn't a club. So,
But yeah, no, lens flares should die in a fire, and so should any other.
what's that, J.J. Abrams?
Any other like. I hate it. Yes, I hate it, but I also hate the kind of the. I don't know if this would exactly be skeuomorphism, but the conceits of trying to make it look like it's a handheld thing when it's created so you could make it look like it's set on Mars and shit. Just these people have no imagination.
Yeah.
So do we think that's actually her, or do we think
I think
that's
this
like,
is her introducing it. This is actually her.
No, I think this is like they had her record a bit and they used AI on it, and it just basically it did the thing where it changed the mouth movements
Well,
and made she's probably saying just some other stuff.
Here's the thing. It would help if it wasn't her, because I don't think she's human to start with.
She's definitely
so it's
not.
hard to say.
She's definitely artificial in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm. So, let's continue here because there's some interesting stuff here. Quote: chatting with me is like having an older sister you can talk to, but who can't steal your clothes. The bot wrote on videos.
But she will steal your boyfriend.
The eerie clip didn't hit the mark, with confused commenters calling it, quote, so creepy and, quote, honestly scary.
Yeah.
Is this legal? One Instagram user wrote. Did Kendall consent to this? Then there's the question of having famous people give up their likeness to train an AI at all.
Yeah.
As Jezebel points out, the Screen Actors Guild, which is currently on strike, has warned of studios trying to scan background performers to avoid paying them more than one day's pay. Obviously, this fits in with everything that we've been talking about regarding like digital actors and that sort of thing. Let's see. As of right now, Meta's celebrity AIs are still in a limited beta, and considering the sheer amount of mayhem AI chatbots have caused over the past year or so, the company will likely tread very lightly, especially considering these celebrities' reputations are at stake. In other words, it's presumably only a matter of time until users will find a way to exploit these chatbots and skirt around Meta's guardrails. When they do, what will their celebrity sources think? Let's see. Yeah, so it's very strange, but I do want to mention that a related article in the sidebar here. Riley Reid launches site for adult performers to create AI versions of themselves.
Oh, God.
Again, porn is what leads to technology.
Yep,
Well,
pretty much. It's decided so many things in our modern world.
Well, yeah, I mean, it can also be people, wanting to get ahead and want to get a piece of it because they know it's going to happen anyway. It's like, well, if it's going to happen anyway, I might as well get paid for it.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. I had pasted this article in our queue a couple of days ago, just today, because you guys know how I do the freelancing thing.
Right.
I got that invitation to do something, and it looks like it is writing for these chatbots.
Wow.
Because I posted in the discussion area like that job, and if you look at the job and what it entails, it's this sort of thing, which I find very interesting.
David, you're going to be writing for AI Ryan Reynolds.
So here's one of my problems with it is like, so it's text at first, which I think misses the mark because no one is going to read text and go, oh, that sounds like just like so-and-so.
Who I've never met.
Maybe some Insta person that types all the time, they would, get it.
Or here's the other thing, like maybe an author. Like if they were to train an AI model to write in the style of Hemingway or something like that.
Yeah.
And like you could have Hemingway as an AI assistant, like, okay, I kind of get it.
But yeah, if they're talking about just like kind of, social media style texting, I mean, it's really you're not going to be able to tell one voice from another. It's all just going to sound like, benign bullshit.
Well, I just want to say I love
Insipid.
how on this video all the comments on the side of it are just horrified. And my favorite is, so cool, I never want to use the internet again.
That sounds like something you would write.
It does, but it wasn't me, I promise. Because I didn't know about this until now. So,
The thing is, I'm curious to see how this shakes up, especially when we move into the inevitable Dead Internet Part 3.
yes.
But again, there's always something new because, it's the apocalypse.
Yeah. And I can see, this being more of a thing, when they can do either almost real time or real time, audio, AI generation, and it's the celeb speaking, or video real time. Then I'm sure I think that would be where you'd get the benefit of having famous people add their likenesses. But yeah, for text, I think it's kind of a weird thing. It's just a news grab, really.
Well, and the other thing is, I'm trying to think about it in this term, if I were to send, if we were to send each other anonymous messages and just type it out the way that we normally do, would we be able to tell which of us typed what? I don't think so.
I don't know.
Not really. I mean, I think there's probably I would say there's a few subtypes of styles.
Yeah.
And other than that, it'd be basically you'll be broken out into two broad categories: proper grammar, or Instagram speak, TikTok speak, whatever. And then from there it'll be just basically only come down to what shortenings and what's abbreviations and net lingo they use.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, again, there's always, the only thing we're missing in this episode is a fungus story. So,
and it just shows Meta loves setting money on fire. They've recently been doing a lot of VR stuff ever since they bought Oculus, and they've been burning literal billions of dollars on it, and have nothing to show for it other than some pretty decent hardware and metaverse that is, quote unquote, metaverse that is worse than the free VR chat that anybody can access. If you want something that's close to what the metaverse, should be, it's VR chat, for better or worse.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's I found it interesting, but yeah, it's the model doesn't make sense. I get why they're doing it, but this is there's no point in paying the celebrities for this right now, because the celebrities are just being paid for basically nothing, because no one knows how the fuck Kylie Jenner types.
I believe it is just solely to put positive spin on AI.
And it's not working. Nobody thinks it's positive.
Yeah.
All the tech companies and even non-tech companies are banking so hard on AI.
Yeah.
And while it's another one of those things, while I think it has more broad applications than Bitcoin, or blockchain. I wouldn't say Bitcoin, but blockchain, which is the underlying technology of Bitcoin. While they have a lot of in common, in that while they both have their applications, they are way overhyped, and they're just buzzword bait to get investors and hype.
Pretty much.
And AI, I think will be a lot more valuable than blockchain will ever be. Blockchain's kind of one of those, and maybe banks will use it or somebody will use it.
Yeah.
But AI, once it's all figured out, but it's still got a lot of fucking problems.
Yep.
And I will end my AI rant there.
Yeah. I just I think it's horrible. And fuck it.
I don't think it's horrible, but it's definitely dumb and useless.
Yeah, right now, yeah.
And of course, it being Facebook, that just means whatever they're supporting, I am against.
Yeah.
Now, see, they already have an AI in the form of Mark Zuckerberg, so why aren't they just leveraging that technology?
Because this is the false flag to, pull attention away from Zuckbot 9000.
Oh, speaking of, you know how everybody always like colors him and says he's Data from Star. I don't think he's Data. I think he's lore.
No, because he doesn't have enough emotion. He'd be a lot more fiery and passionate if he was lore.
Okay, B4.
Yes, he's more B4 than Data.
Yeah, the Lenny of Mice and Men version of Data. Zuck wants to pet the rabbits.
Yes.
Anyway, so thank you for that, David. Once again, you have made me horrified of the future. So we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back with our next set of stories and some other fun stuff. And we're back. Welcome back to your Weekend Weird, and I've got Sophie's choice for you guys, I guess.
Oh, Jesus.
More choices.
Yeah, you've got two articles from phantomsandmonsters.com.
God damn it.
I would like for you to pick A or B, David.
Fuck. Let's go A.
A? All
A
right.
for asshole, because you're an asshole.
Okay. Well, your two choices were black-eyed kids shocked gas station attendant in Northeast Louisiana, which is A, so that's what we're doing, or the night they came for me, abducted by the men in black.
No.
So, black-eyed kids.
No, it's Black Eyed Peas. Kevin.
No,
That's the band.
Mike. Now, we've talked about the black-eyed kids before, haven't we?
Yeah.
Okay, a little bit.
Yeah, I think it was off the rack assholes, because they are kind of an extension of the Men in Black.
Yeah, little pale kids with jet black eyes that are creepy as fuck. Anyway, you'll see what it is. A person emailed David Schrader of Darkness Radio, which that's a hell of a name, about something bizarre they saw several years ago while working at an out-of-the-way gas station in rural Louisiana. I gotta pick a voice for this one. It was about 3 years ago, in November 2012, when I was working. It's always this voice, isn't it? When I was what's that?
I was going to say, I don't know of anybody from rural Louisiana that talked like that.
It's the best I got.
You sound like the old cowboy actor who was also in Back to the Future Part 3. Looks like he took it off the dead Chinese.
Yeah.
That guy.
Well, shoot, son. When I was working at a small gas station, I can't do that for the whole story. When I was working at a small gas station in Northeast Louisiana, we were the only small shop and 24-hour service station near Bastrop, just off the highway. I worked the night shift. I loved it. The sharing of stories with the traveling customers, that is when the rare customer showed up. It must have been around 2 a.m. I was cleaning the floors and locking the beer cooler when suddenly the lights went up. I pulled out my cell and used it as a guiding... Lights went out, dude. Lights went out. I pulled out my cell phone and used it as a guiding light until I made it back to our counter where I kicked on the gas generator. It lit the parking lot, the bath, and the hall leading to the register. When I looked outside, I could just make out the movement of the trees across the street, but otherwise it was pitch black. I turned on the radio and started listening to the local station with its night owl DJ commenting on the heavy winds and cracking jokes between songs. Suddenly, I saw some figures in the dark. I could just make them out. They seemed to be a group of kids on bikes. There were 3 of them. 2 of them dropped their bikes and made their way to the door, where they just stood there staring at me. I just stared back for a moment, waiting for them to come in, and they never did. I moved around the counter and opened the door. "What's up, guys? You out? You kind of late, aren't you?" I asked them, expecting them to come in. Can we use your phone? One asked, their heads tilted kind of low. I felt a little worried as I pulled my cell from my pocket and offered it to her. Sure. She looked at me, and then I saw her eyes. They were solid black, almost like ink-filled orbs. No, I need the real one, she said. Her face twisted into an angry snarl. I pulled the door closed and flipped the locks. No, ma'am. You go home and you get your mom's phone. They stared at me through the door for a minute longer before turning away and biking off. The next day, I had my boss check the camera to get the pictures of the creepy kids, but the cameras had been off the whole time. Now the cameras run off the generator instead of the hall lights. I never saw them kids again. So, some children were out in the middle of a storm and were terrified and asked to use your phone, and you said no.
This just sounds like the next season of Stranger Things.
You're a dick, dude.
But Kevin, their eyes were black.
With the power out, their eyes were black. Just that.
They could have been malnourished.
Okay, sure, or they could have just gotten
just
out of being trapped in mud like that poor girl in the photo. But I don't think that happened.
They're kids. Their eyes are really small, but it's dark, so their pupils were really dilated. So
they were like those big-eyed kid paintings.
Yeah, or the little figures that have the kids, and they're just big doe eyes.
Precious moments.
Yeah,
they're precious moment kids. There we go.
Not at all children of the corn.
No. David, seriously though, David and Mike, both of you. Mm-hmm. What would you do if you actually did run into something like as described as a black-eyed kid, jet black eyes, super pale, wants to come in, can't come in unless you invite him like a vampire?
I mean, I've seen enough J-horror to know to stay away from the pale kids.
That's fair. Mike?
I've been in enough public schools to know you stay away from the pale kids.
Mike, we were the pale kids.
I know, and I know to stay away from me.
Okay, that's fair. You just can't keep your hands off you.
Yeah, no, especially as a teenager.
Yeah, that's terrible. So, anyway, that's our Phantoms and Monsters for the week. Boy, was it terrible. I never vet these. You know that, right? I never read these before.
Never Eddie Vedder these.
That's right.
Then that voice that you were using, like I know I referenced that old cowboy actor, but I recall watching something recently with a guy who had a very similar voice, and I'm trying to pin it, and it's driving me nuts, dude.
Well, son, maybe you'll figure it out soon. That was Pat Buttram, by the way, was that actor.
Right.
The cowboy.
This was a more current
Oh, thing. Yeah, no, I understand.
But, oh, God, now that's... Like, I told you about the time I was, like, trying to remember a fucking movie for, like, 2 years, and it drove me nuts.
Wow, so, yeah, been there.
Yeah, so, thank you for this new fucking problem.
Hey, not a problem. Happy to help. Glad it wasn't just the normal shit of Phantoms and Monsters. Now it's a personal problem. So, Mike, what you got for your... What was the B that we didn't choose at first?
The second choice that David chose, which was actually door number 3.
Yes, what was door number 3?
So, just when you thought it was safe from AI...
Damn it.
Chat GPT is being two great flavor tastes that go great together, apparently. Chat GPT is being used to declassify redacted government documents. Last month, OpenAI launched GPT-4 with Vision, allowing the chatbot to read and respond to questions about images. One of the many ways AI users are using this new feature is to decode redacted government documents on UFO sightings.
Fucking of course they are.
Quote, ChatGPT-4V multi-model decodes a redacted government document on a UFO sighting released by NASA, one tweet raves. Maybe the truth isn't out there, but it's right here in GPT-V.
Yeah.
Decrypt reports.
Now, the question is, how?
So
Does it guess?
So it does, but so if everything that I've read about this and seen is on above board, which it might not be. These could be people just showing the best case scenarios, but they have actually tested it on taking documents of their own and redacted them, and then seen how close the GPT-4 V is getting, and saying that while it doesn't get it word for word accurate, it gets it contextually and spiritually accurate.
Okay, so here's a question. How do we know it's not just AI playing Mad Libs?
Well, it is, but it's in a... So, I mean, it's algorithmically, I guess, possible, depending on, if it's a page of nothing but redaction, it has nothing to work with, so it's just making shit up. But I can see it if there's enough there and it's trying to piece in, what's between there. But it also depends on what it's been trained on. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in the camp of this can't be this good. Like, they're just cherry picking good results. Sure. Like, they're cherry picking good results of their tests with their self-redacted documents to show. And then, therefore, it lends more credence to these actual, government redacted documents.
Right. And here's the thing: if it comes up with an answer for these redacted documents, how the fuck are you gonna know if it's right?
Well, yeah.
And what if it's confirmation bias?
But that's what the testing is supposed to show. Is like, if in the test it nails 99 out of 100 of the tests, therefore you're supposed to have confidence in the real thing, but. Yeah, you just never know.
Well, you know what I think we should do? Let's plug the fucking Voynich manuscript into this thing.
Ooh,
figure out what it says about it.
That would be just more of a translation model.
Oh yeah, no. I still think we should do that because that'd be fun and we could read the results.
It's gonna sound like the translation machine from Mars Attacks. No, the fields of Suede.
Oh, yes.
The great Suede harvest. It's just like, and then them running around with it. Wait, come back. We are your friends. As they're shooting them.
So here, I'm going to read the document. I'm going to let you know when it's filling in the redacted bits.
It's going to have a lot to do with pants.
Pants?
Yep.
Like the ones you wear?
Yep.
I don't think so. I don't think there's going to be much panting, but we'll see. So it says request, and so this part is redacted. It says request for information regarding information on UFOs. On unidentified flying objects, redacted, and their sightings, we are unredacted. Various unidentified objects in the sky, redacted. The sky that has been reported, we are aware of unidentified silent light moving, redacted, across the horizon. There have been reports of. See, it doesn't even flow naturally.
I felt like I was having a stroke.
Yeah.
It sounds like poorly translated German.
Yeah. Unidentified light, redacted. Observed lights over certain areas. It was first thought that the light was a satellite, not an aircraft. Unidentified light, redacted, has been reported multiple times upon investigation. The light was subsequently identified as at least one aircraft. I mean, it just doesn't even...
No.
It
doesn't really make any sense.
I'm sure there's other things that could be in there, but it doesn't even have any earth-shattering revelations.
Hey, I got a great idea what to do with this instead of the Voynich manuscript. Feed it an old SCP.
Oh yeah, that'd be fucking rad.
Yeah, no, I want to see what it comes up with for some SCP shit.
Yeah, and the most startling, not even startling, but the most weird revelation that it says is that the UFO was at an altitude of approximately 300 meters, and for some reason it says the redacted was above ground level. It was not identified as any known, and then aircraft was unredacted in the area. I mean, it's plausible stuff, but it also doesn't seem like, why would this be redacted if that's all this said?
Well, and the other thing is, it's just modeling. It's modeling itself after like other kind of government documents. So certain words are gonna like probably be more closely associated with aircraft. So like when it finds a spot to slip in the word aircraft, it's gonna do it.
I mean, if it's right about what these documents are saying, it just looks like the government is redacting UFO documents just for shits and giggles, or just to provoke conspiracy people. Because that document said nothing that was, seemed, revolutionary or, super secret.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it could be. Like, it could just be, stoking the fires of the conspiracy people just to do it, just to, obfuscate something different.
Mm-hmm. Like if it were me and I was in that position to redact those documents or make up those documents to be redacted to throw people off the trail, I would literally like name drop certain MUFON people in the redactions just to fuck with them.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shecky Jim, the UFO watcher.
Yeah, I mean, literally, this document apparently literally said UFO at an altitude of approximately 300 meters, unredacted.
Yeah.
So, if you're going to say UFO in clear text in a redacted document, that says to me you're just taking the piss out of somebody, or this is not a real. I would say not a real, but not a super classified document. It is I wouldn't say false flag, but definitely a red herring.
Well, what this means is that about 6 months from now, they're going to take this technology and leverage it to find Bible codes. So
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep, I dread that.
Yeah. Oh, we found a whole bunch of new Nostradamus predictions. Yep.
That's what they should do. Make AI figure out what the fuck Nostradamus was on.
That would be fun, is to just fuck with the AI and make it make Nostradamus predictions.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
We like maybe next week in Weird I can put together a few of those and we could just critique them.
Oh, dude, Quatrain Bot would be awesome.
Yeah, so you could give it like the complicated instructions of need a quatrain that references 9/11 and has Obama in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just
there you go.
Continue on wherever Nostradamus left off. When did he stop? Like, what supposedly, according to Nostradamus heads,
thousands of years in the future.
Oh, so they just keeps going forever. Okay.
Yeah, we did 2 episodes on it.
I think it went to like the year 6000 or something.
Yeah. It was
just some information I've heard a billion times before, and apparently I just let slip out of my brain because
No, it's cool.
In all fairness, Mike tries to dump this stuff so he doesn't turn into us.
Exactly. No, but I'm also thinking like making a Nostradamus quatrain bot. That might be one of the most evil things we have ever come up with.
Oh,
like
it really
morally wrong.
It's not even morally ambiguous. It's just morally wrong.
Yeah, like literally evil.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Jesus Christ, what's the matter with us?
That's bad. But worse would be making it a QAnon
bot.
Yes, QAnon bot.
Yep, that's true. So, I'd rather have Quatrain bot than QA bot.
Yeah. So the Slashdot article ends out with some other ways users are using GPT-4V include deciphering a doctor's handwriting, understanding medical images such as X-rays, and receiving analysis and insights for specific medical cases. Wow, that sounds like a bad idea.
Oh, yeah.
Providing information about the nutritional content of meals and food items, assisting interior design enthusiasts by offering design suggestions.
That's a bad idea.
Based on personal preference and the image of the living space.
You should put cow carcasses all over the living room.
And providing technical analysis for stocks and cryptocurrencies based on screenshots.
Fuck off.
You deserve all the gains.
If you listen to the droid, fuck off.
Who says I won't end on a comedic note?
Sure, I guess. Oh boy, I don't know how to feel about that, man. That's kind of left me.
I mean, it's just so bizarre how high a pedestal people put AI on.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't even trust people. You think I'm gonna trust a AI?
I mean, it's so like it reminds me a lot of the GPS thing where people were just driving off of closed bridges or even non-existent.
And that
bridges.
was like in the UK mostly.
Yeah, I mean it happened here too. I've heard
Sure.
US stories, but doing it just because they're intrinsically trusting the AI, not AI, but GPS to never steer them wrong. It's like use your own fucking eyes, people.
So I have like a Chat GPT tab on like Opera. Like it's just a feature that's baked into Opera now. And I literally put write a quatrain in the style of Nostradamus about Joe Biden.
God.
It gave me in corridors of power a figure stands, Biden, a leader with age-worn hands. Through challenges vast his path unfolds, a tale untold in history scrolls. So I think we could probably have a lot of fun like
Oh God!
putting this thing through its paces,
I don't know
dude.
if I like it, but I don't like it. But let's do it.
I'm sorry, I just had to try that because
That's
sure that's
awful.
Yeah.
Yep. Nope. Next, you got to do one about Musk.
Oh God.
Next weekend weird, we got to have one for Musk.
Yeah. Well. Here's what we'll do. We will ask the listeners who are in the Discord to give us suggestions for Nostradamus quatrains.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a great idea.
Yeah. So
before we move on to your story, David, I just want to say I've got Reddit open in the back and I had been scrolling and I just pulled it back up and it's in r/brand new sentences. And the sentence is, Taylor Swift is already a jihadist. So, I just want to get that out there that's a thing.
apparently she's a billionaire now too because of her concert movie.
Well, good for her.
Good for her. Good for her.
Well, good for her because she was one of the first to renegotiate with, was it the Writers Guild? Like the strikes happened and she almost immediately like renegotiated and approved a contract. Admittedly, it was a little self-serving because, it was made sure her movie came out on time, but still.
Still, I mean, she did the right thing with it, though.
Yeah. What's really fun is watching the TikToks of Swifties losing their minds in the movie theater.
I haven't watched it.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's like if you've ever seen a religious experience.
Yeah,
I've seen holy rollers and snake handlers.
It's like that, but it's all Swifties.
Gotcha.
No judgments. I'm happy.
No,
him.
we've got a coworker that is a huge Swiftie.
Hey, there's no bad blood here.
Swifter?
Get it?
Swiftie.
Swifter. Would that be a male
Liter
Swift?
a cola? Yeah. No, it's like the difference between a trekker and a trekkie.
What is the difference?
Trekker is what they used to like to be called. Trekkie, they were offended by. Now I don't think it matters. I think it's because most of the people that were pissed at being called a Trekkie are dead.
True.
Because I was like, yeah, I'm a Trekkie, cool.
Hell yeah.
And now we're the older gay statesmen. So there you go. So David, what have you got for us?
Okay. So I got this one from Gizmodo by Passant Rabi. NASA is struggling to open its asteroid sample container.
God damn it, the garage door opener's broken.
I keep thinking, like, what if whatever's in there doesn't want to be left out? let out.
Sure.
But here we go. And I remember hearing about this a little bit ago. About a month ago, pristine samples from an asteroid landed on Earth while enclosed within a tight capsule. The sample container was designed to keep the main chunk of the asteroid safe during the journey through space, but now teams at NASA's Johnson Space Center are struggling to open it to get at the space rocks. For the past week, the curation team of the OSIRIS-REx mission has been having a hard time opening the TAG-SAM head, a round sampler head at the end of an articulated arm on the spacecraft that was used to grab a sample from the asteroid. TAG-SAM standing for Touch and Go Sample Acquisition Mechanism, is where the bulk of the asteroid sample is, and it is therefore being carefully handled by members of the team through specialized glove box under the flow of nitrogen to prevent contamination. Quote, after multiple attempts at removal, the team discovered 2 of the 35 fasteners on the TAG-SAM head could not be removed with the current tools approved for the OSIRIS-REx glove box, NASA wrote in a blog post on Friday. Quote, the team has been working to develop and implement new approaches to extract the material inside the head while continuing to keep the sample safe and pristine. Let's see. When the aluminum lid from the sample canister was first removed, the mission team found black dust and debris on the avionics deck of the canister. On October 11th, NASA revealed the first look at the samples collected from the outside of the TAG-SAM head, while adding that it still hasn't opened the sample canister yet. Quote, the only problem is a great problem, and that's that we found a lot more sample than we were anticipating before even getting into the TAG-SAM. So, the problem here seems to be, like, number one, they have to, like, work with this sample in a very clean environment.
Yeah.
And the current set of tools, they can't bring any outside tools into this environment for risk of, contamination. So they have to create new sterile tools to deal with these 2 bolts that are keeping this thing locked.
Yeah, and also you want to think about the fact that they can't really generate any more debris when opening this, because you think about it, even really stuck threads, they can do something. They might not strip, but they can do something called galling, which is just leaving little bits of metal behind, and that could contaminate the samples. So
yeah, like if like they can't drill into it because
so I mean I'm sure they're smart fellers. They'll figure out a way to do it. But yeah, it's interesting. But also interesting because it's just apparently just jam packed full of dirt.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm more surprised how often things work when it comes to NASA stuff.
Yeah. No, people like to harp on some of the failures, like the lander that impacted into Mars due to a bad conversion. But it sucks.
It doesn't happen as much.
But it sucks. But when shit works, it works like well beyond expectations. NASA has 2 modes. It either fails because of some oversight, or it works like twice or 3 times better than they expected it to.
Yeah, so like that's the update that we have. That was Monday, so they're probably still working on this.
Oh yeah, you don't want to rush that.
I'm just trying to think of like what kind of like that has to be kind of a fun job at this point for also very nerve-wracking because like you don't want to be the one to fuck this process up, but the puzzle solving seems interesting to me.
But also kind of like same thing with the astronauts. The great thing about that is the person holding the tool probably doesn't have like all the pressure on them because all these procedures have been approved by higher ups.
Yeah.
Right.
So like when an astronaut goes on a spacewalk and does something on the ISS or something like that, they're going by a checklist, and NASA and the ground mission control is telling them step by step what to do.
Yeah.
So if something fucks up, it's not really the astronaut's fault because
unless they accidentally let go of a tool and it floats off into space. I mean, but other than that,
it's been so meticulously thought out that
they've tested it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, every procedure is something some people don't think about. It's like every procedure that's ever done through NASA has been done in simulation. Like there's somebody that's taken a mock-up of that thing,
probably taken it into the tank.
Yeah, done that. If it's done in space, it's been done underwater in a tank by someone in a space suit to see how well they can do it. And they've probably done it like 3 or 4 different ways and times, just so they can tell the person on station how they should do it. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure with this, there's probably a dummy of this, container, and someone is like, they probably like rolled the bolts in dirt and put them in, gotten them to stuck, and they've been figuring out the best way to take those bolts out.
Yeah. And for it being 35 of these like fasteners and only 2 of them giving them the problem, that's still very impressive, considering that the thing had to pick the fucking sample off of an asteroid.
Yeah, I know. The hard part's done.
Yeah. And it might not even be dirt. It may just be what's known as vacuum welding or something similar to that. So, metals on Earth, you don't think about the fact that metals on Earth, they form an oxide coating because of all the oxygen. So when you touch 2 metals together, and you could take 2 pieces of metal and rub them sensuously together, and they don't stick because they have this oxide coating that just does not want to stick to each other. But in the vacuum of space, if that somehow that oxide coating gets like abraded away or rubbed away due to vibration, well, that completely virgin bare metal to virgin bare metal can just stick together. Like it becomes, one metal, just like if you welded it, because that's all welding does is gets the metal hot enough to where it removes that oxide layer and the 2 metals can just join.
Now, Mike, how do you know this? This is what I appreciate. Like,
I absorb this stuff. Like I watch a lot of stuff. I don't think
you understand how much shit Mike has watched over the years about science and space.
And vacuum welding was one of those things that apparently back in the early days of space flight was considered a bigger problem than it's turned out to be. Like people were thinking, just like with the atomic bomb, where they thought, it was going to like burn up all the atmosphere. They thought any metal sent into space would immediately just stick together like glue and never be separated. But it's not so bad. But yeah, this could be an issue of that, like just some part of the threads through jostling. And like, is it 32 bolts, you said?
Mm-hmm. Or 35.
35, 2 of 35, just by random chance of enough vibration to where just some of the threads galled enough to, become welded. That's my guess. Mm-hmm. Because these are, I'm walking back my guess of the dirt, because these are bolts that were not removed until, were put in on Earth and weren't removed until they got back on Earth.
Yeah.
Right.
Nerd out, done.
Yeah.
No, like that's great. And I recall earlier today we were having a discussion in the Discord about you not being prepared for things, but I'm like, no, there's always a Mike Science moment that I try to put into the script.
And
so
that's why I always try to pause in my shows. Mm-hmm. But I mean, like,
we appreciate you.
Even without planning, way more than both of us usually.
I mean, no, because y'all know a lot about the esoteric crap.
Yes, that will never be useful in any situation except this show.
When is vacuum welding really going to become useful? I'm not going to space.
I don't know. What if there's a state change in the atmosphere? I don't know.
But yeah.
Well, by going by that logic, what if an alternate dimensional portal opens up and magic becomes a reality? Then Kevin, and
I am
set,
fucked.
So.
Yeah, we're cool.
I'll be like coming
each other.
I'll be coming to Kevin and be like, "Hey man, how do I do this chaos magic so I can like go to work?"
All right, first off, you get a piece of paper, you draw a sigil, then you come on it. That's pretty much the basics. It's gonna be a lot of masturbation.
I
Wow,
can't wait
I'm
till
gonna-
we actually start covering magic.
Oh, God. Yeah, funny story. This is unrelated to anything except that my therapist the other day was telling me about ways to self-actualize and put your will out in the world, and he got done explaining it, and I had to stop myself going, motherfucker, this is chaos magic. You literally just described chaos magic without the masturbation.
I'm going to have to up my cucumber intake, aren't I?
Yeah.
You're
Who
gonna have to
who
drink.
needs a psychologist when you've got Aleister Crowley?
Yep. Bring him. Oh, God. Let's not go there. So, all right. Well, thank you for that, David. We just ruined it with masturbation and chaos magic. Science. Fuck science. So, we had a question. Well, do we want to do X or the one question we have?
Let's do questions. Or is it just the one question, or do
It's
we have...
one question.
Because I know that I missed a week.
Questions.
Yeah, it's one question because it's the same question.
Yeah,
Actually, no,
let's
there's a
go ahead-
couple of questions here.
Yeah, let's do those because I think our next segment might be a little longer.
Yeah. Okay. It's Ghost Forge asking, what are the host's reactions to the Bees SCP? And he links to it. I read it. I read it a couple weeks ago, actually, and my reaction is, this should be SCP number tries a little too hard.
Okay.
It's literally just, but what if bees?
But what if bees? But bees are.
I mean, you could replace the word bees in this with cherry tomatoes, and it would have the exact same impact to me.
Yeah, it's
It's just a dude finds a journal with bees, and he just decides everything's made out of bees, including himself.
yeah,
And it happens to everyone.
Isn't that the naked lunch?
Fair.
Yeah, the other thing is, like, because I do want to go back to doing some SCPs on the Patreon. Like, it takes a lot to make a good SCP.
It does. And
This is an example of trying too hard.
Yes, this is SCP number try too hard. Object class Euclid, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and the thing, like, just to get into SCP theory here just a little bit, I think the reason, like, the best SCPs work because they do one thing. Like, so Dial a Llama.
Oh, God, yes.
Or the weird vending machine, or even that statue where,
Oh, the very first SCP.
yeah, less is more.
Yeah,
Less
where they
is
got the
more with
Weeping
SCPs.
Angels from.
Yeah. Less is more with an SCP. Like, this is trying to put too much out there.
Yeah, and I mean, it was kind of an amusing read, but eventually I was like, it's just bees. It's just this dude is bees.
It's
then
not
it doesn't
in my
explain it.
canon. I'll tell you that. It's not in my SCP canon.
This is not my headcanon, sir.
Yeah.
So
yeah, well, we got to do more SCP episodes because those
we
are always
do.
worth a laugh.
And thank you for that, Ghost Forge. I don't think we're fans of it.
yeah, not this one.
We had one other question from the end of last month from Kick Acetron. And this is a great one. If you go there and look, is this a Proto Enrique or something else entirely? And it is a poster. Humanoid amphibian, Loveland, Ohio. It ain't easy being the Loveland Frogman. The Loveland Frog, also known as the Loveland Frogman or Loveland Lizard, is a mysterious humanoid amphibian that is said to stand roughly 4 feet tall.
And here's the fucked up part. He is the mascot for our show, and we've done
never
the
covered
episode on him.
I know, and I thought about that the other day. I was like, God, we've actually got to do the Loveland Frogmen or we're not worth shit.
It's the same reason why Disney doesn't make a Mickey Mouse movie, because there's so much fucking writing on it. Like, if that Mickey Mouse movie doesn't make $2 billion and it's not the best fucking movie ever,
Oh,
then
they've
they will have
tanked
failed.
Mickey. Well, the other thing is, there's just not that much to the story. It's a one-off sighting. It is a what last podcast referred to as a single-use cryptid. It's seriously, businessman driving home in 1955 sees 3 frog dudes standing on the side of the road one of them pulls a magic wand out and starts sparking, and he guns it, going, "Fuck that."
Well, you know,
I think technically we just did the episode.
I think the angle for that, like obviously talk about that encounter, but like frogs carry symbolic significance. So it would be where we would look at like the symbology and the importance of frogs.
Yeah, we'd have to
like,
do a lizard men, frog men without touching on the draconians.
I think you could just literally do just frogs and then have the Loveland frog. But because, you know, there's a reason like that first major Hellboy arc was called The Plague of Frogs. There is like a
it's true.
significance to frogs culturally around the world, and
it's in the Bible.
Folklore. Yeah, so
they're very transformative and very symbolic.
They're fucking weird when you get down to it.
Yeah. So you could do an entire episode on just weird frog shit, like from history or from art or literature, or in this case, the Loveland frog. So yeah, we can.
Well, I tell you what, when we do it, I'll do the part about Enrique himself, and then you can do the folklore part, and we can sort of double team it.
It would basically be me just doing like the stuff that I did for the cryptid, the Western American cryptid.
Except I have a chunk, Yeah.
So
right.
I do.
And Mike,
believe
you
that
can sit there and tell us we're full of shit.
Well, I do want to say one thing in regards to like the internet in its frogs zeitgeist right now is. Frogs are so hot right now.
They are. We've got a friend who has what Mike terms frog brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the frogs have just become like
his thing.
Just in the internet in general.
Yeah. I mean the whole obviously there's the whole Pepe thing, but like
I don't
that connection to that Egyptian minor deity named Kek, for example. Again, there's just these weird things about frogs.
Yep, frogs is weird.
They're cool, though. I fucking love frogs, man. They're cool. But also fucking weird.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So we will do a frog episode at some point.
We're gonna finally tackle Enrique and frogs in general. I do feel a little remiss, but I've also been sort of like I don't really there's not that much to that specific incident, so. Now we have one other question real quick. Man in Black said, what books would you recommend for the Halloween season? I'm like, just grab Lovecraft.
Yeah. I always suggest any of like Henry James's books. I'm going through right now and rereading my Poe collection. Because I just had recently watched the Fall House of Usher on Netflix. So I'm going through and rereading a lot of those original stories. Like, Poe is always good around this time. I still think a good one I suggest is The Mask of the Red Death. That one's excellent. It's very timely as well.
Yeah. It's a terrible fucking disease.
Yeah.
Mike, you got any recommendations for readings for Halloween?
Considering I almost just died.
His obituary.
Did.
I went to take a sip of a drink, and let me tell you, if you ever had water go down the wrong pipe, rum and Coke going down the wrong pipe is infinitely worse.
Ooh.
So there's your horror story for
there's my
Halloween.
Horror. Yeah. But no, I'm not much of a horror person or scary person.
Yeah.
So
I tell you what, go watch a movie. Go watch No One Will Save You. That is one of the scariest things I've seen in ages.
I'm going to throw another story. Midnight Meat Train from Clive Barker.
Motherfucker. Midnight Meat Train of all
God, I thought that was the best title for a movie when it first came out.
It was.
First announced.
Well, I love the announcer and the thing, the Midnight Meat Train. He's just so deep and taking it so seriously. I'm like, they have paid you well, my friend.
Yeah, I love Midnight Meat Train. It's it's rare for gore to work for me in like written form, but goddamn, it works in written form on that story.
So that's a story, not just a movie.
Yeah,
Wow.
no, the movie was based on the Clive Barker story. It's in his anthology, The
Of
Books
course,
of
it's
Blood.
Clive Barker.
Yeah.
I was only familiar with it from the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
the
the
trailer
movie's
for the
not
movie.
bad. The movie's not bad at all.
Okay.
The short story is better.
Of course.
Like for
Usually
example,
is.
Hellraiser, that's based on a short story as well.
The Hellbound Heart.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah, I see what he did there.
Yeah.
Clive Barker is awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, David, X has failed us.
Yeah.
So, I think it's time to Alex Chiu choose another topic.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of an Alex Chiu catch-up. I don't think he deserves another episode, but I did mention that I do want to pick up on some stuff periodically.
Yeah.
We still need to do our Alex Chiu piss chug video reaction.
Oh, God. Yeah, I guess so.
So, in the host chat, I went ahead and linked something, but before we talk about that, like his website goes through updates, and just, I want to read the disclaimer because I never really had a chance to read his disclaimer, but I love it.
Okay.
Okay. All written and oral statements are my true beliefs. There are at this moment not yet medical claims. I am basically writing this disclaimer to protect myself from the FDA. The devices, which is one word, are for research and experimentation of the buyers, not to be carried out as one word, treatment on someone else's body.
That is amazing.
And then also under his cell realignment machine, which I think was the last invention that we talked about.
Yes. Yes.
Alex Chiu,
It had the video about the epilepsy.
yeah, Alex Chiu spent 25 years to develop the machine. And then he writes, it can cure many diseases and handicaps, but he has blocked out certain vowels with asterisks, so he can't be held legally liable for saying that it cures many diseases and handicaps.
That's not how that works at all.
Yeah, so instead of the I in diseases, it's an asterisk. Instead of the U in cure, it's an asterisk. In handicaps, the I has been replaced with an asterisk. So
Are you telling me he used the TikTok method of getting around saying death?
Yeah. So,
God damn.
yeah, he's got a new product out, guys.
Oh, really?
And
And what is
also,
this product?
this is needleless acupuncture.
Now, going to the page for needleless acupuncture, I want to point out the very first time he says it in a paragraph, he says noodleless.
Yeah.
Well, needles, noodles, same thing.
But before that, though, I just want... so we talked about, like, AI-generated videos and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
So his first video on there uses one of those, like, voices.
Now,
so
which-
if we... Yeah.
Which video is that?
Diodes can now replace acupuncture. It's the first...
okay.
Yeah. He's
So
got,
what we're
like, a
going to do is
two-parter thing. Yeah.
we're going to play that and get some of the audio. All right, you get that? If you stab yourself in the head with a needle, it'll fix anything wrong with your brain.
Yeah, and we don't need to play the whole video, but like just
No.
so you hear like the artificial voice and everything like that. Like, there's not a woman in Alex Chiu's life right now. And we'll
God,
get to
no.
that.
Well,
we'll get to
there's
that
not
when we,
one.
Yeah,
There's not one that isn't a mannequin.
Made of
yeah.
silk.
When we talk about his YouTube videos lately, we'll get to that. But so yeah, let's just go ahead and kind of go through because this is a short little page for his new product. Hey guys, get hype! It's a new Alex Chiu product. So
Woo! Woo woo!
yeah, so noodleless acupuncture technique was invented by Alex Chiu in around November of 2022. It produces just as much healing as acupuncture needles and is totally safe for anyone to use. Basically, you just tape a diode on your flesh with medical tape. Then lie down for about 20 to 30 minutes. You have to wear the immortality rings during the healing session.
Look how he gets you.
Well, he also is offering 2 free immortality rings if you tell people about his website.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right there at the top of the page, man. So, like, he just wants to help, man. Within a few minutes, you will feel pulsation in your flesh where you tape the diode. And the pulsation feeling means your cells are being realigned and repaired. I invented this because acupuncture needles are very dangerous if not used properly. And most practitioners of acupuncture are quacks.
My God.
Couple bullet points here. You can use this on the same area each day. With real acupuncture needles, you can't puncture the same area every day or you could cause harm to your nerve or organ.
Your nerve. Singular.
Or your only organ. Or one organ.
100, like, okay. I guess because skin is an organ, I was just thinking, like, how deep are you putting those needles if you're piercing an organ? You know what I mean?
I got my spleen.
100% safe for amateurs to use.
Now, that's true, because you're taping a diode to your face.
And I did not mispronounce amateurs.
Amateur?
What's an amateur?
He means armature.
Oh.
Now he, like, he obviously just kind of explained how it's supposed to work, right?
Right.
Now, but the next section is, how does this work? One day in November of 2022, okay, he's repeating himself here, I had this weird idea. I thought to myself, quote, how about taping a diode to my cheek in order to heal my eye?
Now, this is because the immortality rings hadn't already healed it?
Yeah.
His eye... His eye, he can't put a ring on his eye, Kevin. So
yeah, but the rings are supposed to affect everything.
But the eye is so far away from his hands and toes. He had to think of a way to get that immortality energy to his face.
Then why doesn't he just make an immortality nose ring?
I know.
Ooh, fair point.
Immortality headband.
So I bought some diode and taped one to my cheek. And guess what? It worked. I felt pulsation 5 minutes after I lied down. But how can this work? The theory is simple. Diode is a device which allows electrons to travel in one direction. So if you tape a diode to your flesh, it creates a flow of chi energy from one side of your flesh to the other side. I don't like him using the word flesh.
I don't either.
It's unsavory.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, it is bad.
This is what acupuncture needle was meant to do. Acupuncture needle's purpose is to cause pain so your body will increase the chi flow to the puncture wound. When chi flow is increased, damages to nearby area will also be healed.
So, I don't know how often you guys have to use medical tape on yourselves, but after you put it on, it gets kind of annoying.
Yeah, having experienced that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Having a friggin' hole in my neck. Yeah, it sucks.
Well, I had holes in my knees, and same. It's not.
No.
After a while, it's just kind of your body's like, hey, you got this shit stuck to you. Come on, do something about it.
Hey, before we move on, or as we're moving on, can I read the title of the next section of that page?
Yeah.
Instructions on how to tape a diode to your flesh.
Flesh.
And then, he gives us a nice handy guide, and it also includes
extremely low res
Alex Chiu illustrations.
I want more than 7 pixels. Come on, give me
the drawing's great.
Give me 128 pixels, please.
Yeah, so and then of course at the bottom of the page he has a couple of pictures, and then he has SDFSD. Just a couple characters.
Is that like some weird abbreviation for Sudafed?
I have no idea.
No. Look at your keyboard. It's just the left-hand home row. It's just SDFSD over again.
Oh.
He just drummed his fingers on the keyboard at the end after he was done typing.
I love the really shitty Photoshop job. MS Paint job of the diode on the woman's cheek.
it would be funny if he was using like top tier, image editing programs, and that's
Guys.
the best he can do.
Oh my God! You could buy his flag.
What? You're shitting me.
Yes, the Alex Chiu flag. Purchase here.
Okay, I'm more worried about the example picture that says to cure asthma. And
yeah, I saw that.
It's got one hairy pectoral and one bare one. I'm assuming this is like he took this from some like waxing like guide or something, because there's like one waxed pec and one hairy pec.
Mm-hmm.
So is that saying like the diode will like shave your pec for you?
I don't know what it's going to do, Mike. I don't know. I don't have answers.
Okay, I'm gonna link the flag thing real quick because there's some gems here.
He used the same picture of the diode on all these. Like in one of them, it's just a white square with the diode, and in the other one, he kind of like tried to color it flesh, but failed.
So his flag, it is the Chiu symbol is actually the last name of Alex Chiu in Chinese. It was redesigned to look cool. God told me in 2010 that one day this flag will overtake America. So I had to design a new flag, and you can get one for $15.
Yeah, that one, that's not too bad. I was expecting like $50.
Yeah,
we need to send this to Flagged for content.
For about
you're
$50.
right.
But it looks so much like a Nazi flag, the red with the white circle.
I know.
Designed to look cool.
It's that sounds like G. Gordon Liddy, to be honest. There's like the SS is cool.
And then at the bottom, just to remind you, this is just like the flag you see in Alex Chiu's YouTube videos. Believe me, Alex, we know. Search for Alex Chiu on YouTube and you will see it. Alex Chiu is the inventor of the immortality rings that allow you to stay physically young forever.
I gotta send this to Flag for content.
Yes, we need to send one.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, I'm sending him a link. So, David, tell us a little bit more about what's going on with Mr. Chiu's life.
Well, Alex Chiu did open up a subreddit. It's created in June. It's r/Alex Chiu rings. It's got 41 members, 7 online right now.
Wow.
And it's mostly just kind of him like posting. I think it's just mostly him just posting his stuff.
It is. Can you tell the people his username?
Facebook Boy 2.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I think because he's got a couple from like people that aren't him, I'm assuming, or it could be like burner accounts. But
yeah, Mike was saying it's probably sock puppets, but
yeah.
I so appreciate these rings.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Let's see. Oh, here's a good question. Why do you only wear rings during sleep? Wouldn't wearing them all day increase the benefits? I wonder if he responded. Okay, yes, he did respond. Because if Facebook Boy 2 is Alex Chiu, his response to the question is, wearing them in the day will only make you sleepy. It is crucial. Instead of crucial. Yeah, instead of crucial, it's crucial to put the rings on during sleep because that's the time that your body heals itself.
Nice.
Yeah. And then here's a post from him. Need honest opinion about affiliate dropship program. Nobody is joining. Need to know why.
Affiliate.
Yeah. The first comment, your site design looks unprofessional.
No shit. It looks like it's from 1992.
Oh man. Alex. And then of course we do have some YouTube.
I love his response. I love his response to your site design looks unprofessional. Oh, is that it? The site looks crappy? What about my offer?
And then someone replies, the offer seems generous. I don't think that is the issue.
Son of a bitch.
Post from Rev Doomsday. I have been waiting for an opportunity like this for a long time. I have been preaching your devices for the past decade, not knowing if my words have delivered any customers. Now that I am able to source product locally, I can keep track of my progress and streamline the process. As far as difficulties gaining a following, stay persistent. The word just needs to get out there. We are also supplying a product that people will be skeptical about. We need more mouths and more ears out there. If you build it, they will come, and you, sir, have built it. Right now, this is the best time to utilize this technology. We just got to show people that. So that's clearly Alex. That's clearly Alex.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Wow.
I live in Spain. I want to know more about your rings. Please make a channel on Telegram and posting your projects. I would join. I can't find your rings in Amazon Spain.
Yeah, because Amazon keeps pulling down his
because it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you were talking about his videos. What's been going on with him, man?
Yeah. So, I think last time we talked about him, I had mentioned his video, my biggest fear is nobody knows about my rings after I am dead, which I think we had a lot of discussion about the fact that these are supposed to be immortality rings.
And he's talking about when he's dead.
Yeah. He did a video shortly after. My immortality rings are just as important as Edison's phonograph or Tesla's AC current. I'm just going to go ahead and read through some of the headlines here. Why Christianity is a cult and Buddhism is not. Men will naturally lose interest in women as they age. He seems super concerned with Bed Bath & Beyond stock. We had mentioned that before, and he keeps talking about it.
That's a what was it called? With the same thing with the GameStop stock. Bed Bath and Beyond was one
to
of
the
the
moon.
Was also part of that whole thing.
Alex follows meme stocks. Oh no.
Yeah, meme stocks.
He did a 6-minute video how to get rid of all malwares on Windows 10 instantly.
Oh.
I saw this. I saw this on that crappy fact thing where you make a text document called virus and then you delete it.
His very next video is how Judaism has given me hope in life.
Ooh.
Wow.
Okay.
And then apparently he had some sort of bad relationship or something. Narcissist will cloud your judgment and ruin your family or relationship.
Is he saying his sex doll is a narcissist?
I don't know, because then he follows that up with men prefer dogs or cats over women nowadays.
Um.
Don't have kids. They are not taught to love their parents nowadays.
Well, that's your own fault.
If
you're
the one doing the teaching. Yeah.
He's been going through some family shit. I went to my cousin's wedding yesterday and saw my sibling rivalry.
Okay.
Let's see. 63% of men stopped dating because they bought sex dolls.
I don't think that's true at all, in fact. You killed Mike again, David. Good job.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, and what are you talking about? Like U.S. or worldwide?
I don't know. I'm not going to watch it and give him
I'm
the
pretty
view on
sure
that
the
one,
sex doll industry isn't that big.
It's hard to search for Alex Chiu on Google now.
Well, yeah, it was always hard just because, you got to see Alex Chiu.
And you got to remember how to spell his name, actually.
Ooh, this sounds dark.
Ooh, really?
I am trying everything I can to sell immortality rings. No other way out.
That sounds like a cry for fucking help.
Does he have like gambling debts or something? Is he in hock to the mob?
He's mentioned gambling debts before.
Really? I was just fucking shooting in the dark here. That was just a joke.
And then he announces his physical immortality Reddit forum. Please come. Then he made a video announcing his dropshipping service. Open your own Alex Chiu online store and earn hundreds every month. Then he starts a promotion campaign for his diodes. how the immortality rings can make you physically immortal, but he also talked about how like he's worried that when he dies that no one's going to remember him. I went to my cousin's birthday party last week. People are getting colder.
Now, does he mean like towards each other, or just?
I'm assuming like he's had a falling out with his family.
Probably.
He did have an accident recently. I tripped and fell on concrete, and I am still fine thanks to the rings.
So
sure.
I'm curious why he didn't parlay this newly discovered trick with diodes into like his own product he could sell, instead of like, you know, just telling people for free they could, you know, just tape diodes that cost like, you know, 5 cents each. He doesn't even mention a resistance value. Or well, no, diodes don't have resistance. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But he could have like bought diodes himself and put them into a slick little package and like had them, you know, with, you know, some kind of like adhesive on there and sold them as like Alex Chiu's chi bands or something.
Right.
You just slap them on whatever areas you have. So, I mean, at least he's not charging for them. But he does say you have to have the rings.
Well, yeah, and he makes like $219 on the immortality machine or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a couple more videos to mention here. My family is so horrible, makes me so depressed.
Wow. It's
Jesus.
Maybe they're just, you know, worried about him and he's taking it as, you know, criticism.
Modern
like,
day
you know,
relatives are so cold, they are like total strangers.
This guy needs a hug.
Yeah,
This guy needs some therapy.
he does have some hot takes on current events.
Oh, I bet he does. He always does.
I don't believe E. Jean Carroll was sexually assaulted by Trump.
Oh.
Let's see. Israel-Hamas war was fulfilled. War fulfilled Daniel 9's prophecy. Prophetic dream. Civil war starts in March or April 2024 because of Trump. And then something I'm noticing on a lot of his videos, he's now putting thirst TikToks and editing them into his videos.
What?
Like when I say thirst TikToks, you know what I mean, right?
Explain to me.
So attractive women on TikTok, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, he started like stitching these into his videos. A lot of it dealing with like dating or buying sex dolls. This is an interesting title. I went out with a girl last month. She brought her dad along.
For protection?
So he's, but yeah, like he's got a bunch of these videos where it's just like, he's talking, but he's got like these thirst trap Instagram photos or
God, that is
videos
creepy.
Stitched in. Like he has some issues with women here.
Oh yeah.
He seems to be in a bad place, and I hope he's okay.
I don't know that he is, but I hope he gets okay.
Yeah. Men stop dating because they buy cheap sex dolls on eBay. So, have we had the used sex doll conversation? I think we have at one point.
We that was in the very first episode. We did a lot of talk about him and his sex dolls.
Yeah. So, he's going through an arc right now, for sure.
Yeah, but it's like the arc that usually ends in someone being a serial killer.
Yeah. Just kind of depressing. Kind of depressing.
Oh, real
not gonna
damn
lie.
depressing, dude.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him.
Look, he's just on the spectrum, and you know, back 60, 70 years ago, they would take someone like him or me, maybe, because I probably very in a similar situation with less weirdness, and hook us up with their ugly cousin, and we'd have like 3.4 kids. But that doesn't happen anymore. So
what is 0.4 of a child gonna look like?
It's the one that doesn't have anything just below the pelvis.
It's the one that you keep in the attic.
Yes.
Now 0.4 is just from the knees down. That's all you've got.
Just
It's
missing
two
a leg.
legs.
It's above the. Okay, how about this? It just comes down to just above the navel.
It's the
Okay.
fucking baby from Eraserhead. That's what it is.
Yeah. or it just doesn't grow up very much, and it just stays about 2.5 feet tall.
I hate this discussion now.
Yeah. So, Alex is going through a little journey. I hope that
You know what?
he gets to feeling better.
I was going to say, I don't pray, but if you pray for him.
Yeah, I want him to start make another device. I want to come back to this next year and be like, we got a new Alex Chiu Invention Boys, get hype, because that brings me joy.
I hope it's surrounded stuff like just joined a gym.
Yeah, I would love to see Alex, I just made some new friends, or I just joined a tabletop gaming group.
Yeah, something.
Because that's been doing wonders for me. I'm in a tabletop gaming group, and it's nice to be out and socializing. So,
sure,
Alex, if you're listening, and I know you are,
Look,
please.
I mean, for our benefit,
Play D&D.
Yeah.
If he does quote get better, it's gonna stop the fire hose of weirdness.
No, he's gonna get back to inventing.
No.
He phoned in this diode thing. This is a very phoned in thing.
Or he's gonna meet some woman who's gonna make him get a job as an accountant, and they're gonna buy a Honda Civic, and move into a 2-bedroom apartment. And, he's going to just become boring and normal.
You know what? Good. Just going to say, good. Good for him if it happens.
It would make me happy, and I would approve of it. And I keep looking back at why I always urinate inside a bottle and never pee in toilet. And we're going to have to record that reaction.
Maybe he's actually happier with his sex dolls and his pee jugs than he would be with some, woman who would make him give up everything he loved.
Yeah.
And he would do it because he loves her.
Well, he does say that short men should just settle down with a sex doll.
God fucking... Okay, we're done. That's it.
I didn't say
we're
that.
Done. He said that. Anyway, we're done. So, that being said, have we got any plugs real quick?
I actually, for a couple months now, I've been writing some articles for a website called Character Hub, about character design and that sort of thing. And the articles are finally out. It's at characterhub.com/blog. And I have an article, for example, about how to do shape-driven character design. I have an article that's 1001 character traits. I have another one that's 101 Dungeons and Dragons character concepts and that sort of thing. So if you're interested, if you're a creative sort who wants to learn about drawing or writing and working on original characters, check that out. Check those articles out. And then also try to sign up for Character Hub, because you can post art there and people like it, and you can organize stuff. It's fun. I like it. I've enjoyed working for them. Right. I'm not only writing for them, I'm also one of the users. So,
right. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I'm just gonna say, listen to this show or I'll steal your lunch money. Mike, you got anything?
Buy Alex Chiu's flags?
No, don't do that. Don't
I am going to buy immortality rings at some point. I could probably get them for free because I directed you guys to the website.
Yeah, I think you might have to. I don't know. Do you have to approve the affiliate?
Well, you send them the episode.
Yeah, all the free advertising.
Oh yeah,
just ignore all the other commentary about his personage and his dalliances and what else he does.
Mm-hmm.
I never want to talk about this man again. So
it's funny because Sunday we're going to be, or sometime this weekend we're going to be talking about him for sure.
God damn it! Yeah, well,
it's happening
anyway. So we will see you guys next time. So don't forget, you can find everything you need to at supernatpod.rocks. That is a link to our Discord. Our every episode is up there. There's a link to our Patreon and our store, which we should have some new designs coming up in the next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We will see you guys next time. So until then, stay safe and stay frosty.
It's going to be
Goodbye.
spooky.
Spoopy.
Alex Chiu loves you.
And we love Alex Chiu.
No, we don't.
Oh, we do. We've done 2 episodes on the guy.
Mild infatuation, maybe.